So this is Prolific Studio. We spent a lot of time evolving this with a partner, and we're going to continue to grow this out. So it's not just, I know that we're talking about SAS to Python and PySpark today, but we're actually expanding this out to include stuff like Microsoft SQL to EDB as an example.
Wow.
So let me just open up a workspace here. We're going to do just a simple test. So I'm going to open up a proc. These are all just different proc steps that anybody who's writing SAS code definitely appreciates all of these procs. And I'm going to do a simple one. This is just a frequency proc. It's a popular one, obviously, for descriptive statistics and all that kind of stuff. But this comes, we have our own data out there and everything else, so we make sure that it all is complete code and it executes. So if you see on the bottom here, I'm going to just take this chunk of code and I'm going to convert it to PySpark. We also have pandas. So with PySpark translation, we're actually using PySpark data frames. If we convert to pandas, then it's going to be Python using panda data frames.
Right.
So I'm just going to convert it to PySpark. And, this is a small chunk of code, so it's quick to get processed. And so I'll show you now. Let me go back up. We've got that code out. So let me expand the Python. And I have a couple of outputs here. One is the PySpark PY, which is just a basically Python file, but we also can create and push this all out to a Jupyter notebook. So wow. I'm gonna pull up the Python piece. Now, one of the things that we try to do in refactoring, especially, Craig, is we really want to make sure that the code is supportable, right? Maintainable,
right?
Readable, right? So we put in a lot of different comments. We break down SAS by blocks. So a natural set of blocks would be whatever your data is, and any number of different proc statements that you might have. Data steps or proc statements, doesn't matter. We'll break them all down in blocks so that the programmer can follow which code has been successfully translated, and then those blocks that we may not be able to completely translate the code, where the Python person would have to kind of fill in the blanks, right?
Right.
So let me just execute this real quick.
Wow.
And again, this is, I know it's verbose code, right? So you take a couple lines of SAS code, but in order to make it maintainable and understandable for everybody, we're erring on the side of verbose versus optimization. Refactoring has really never been, the definition of refactoring has never been optimized for that cloud architecture, right?
Right.
The purpose is to get there as quickly as possible. And there's a lot of benefits to us doing this for clients. One of the big things that we offer for a client is the ability to get onto their target cloud architecture. Maybe it's PySpark being executed on Databricks, on Azure, and accessing a Gen 2 data lake, as an example.
Right.
We want to get them there as quickly as possible so that they could start experiencing that new platform, right? What does it mean to their process? What kind of upskill do they need to take? What kind of changes, if any, to their procedures do they need to take now that they're up on a cloud architecture? So this can be something that's more permanent. It's not optimized, obviously, but it could be permanent, or it can be an interim solution, right? Get them onto the cloud architecture as quickly as possible.
Right.
And when their budget and their time permits, then they could go for a full replacement if they chose to.
Right. And you can also extend it, correct?
Absolutely. Once it's regular Python, right? So, this is code that anybody's going to recognize, right? So any Python geek can start hacking away at it, right?
Nice. Very nice. Very nice.
So we really try to couple everything with efficiency, get it translated as quickly as possible. But the translation has to be sufficiently verbose so that anybody with Python experience can look at it and know what the heck it's doing.
Right.